Kyle, just kind of talk about obviously what the challenges were, kind of bringing Jancy down, and just maybe what you kind of thought the overall issues were for the defense tonight.
Yeah, I think you just mentioned it. Number 2 was the problem. Getting him down was a major problem. And it was a problem at pretty much every level of our defense. And it's hard to play good defense if we can't get a guy on the ground. Credit to him, he's a very talented runner. I do get a lot of jokes for being the oldest man on the team, but I've been around a while. That's a really good back we just faced. So all credit to him, but one thing I know about this team is, we're going to respond. And that's the word we're preaching right now.
It seemed like after the first big touchdown run, you guys kind of held him in check there for a good stretch of time, and then he breaks off, obviously, the 14-yarder and then the big one after the offense brought it within 1. How much does that just kind of deflate you when you feel like you've got him and he still runs through 6 tackles and breaks free?
Yeah, well, I think that's what makes him so special as a player is that ability to, get through 1, but then also get through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. But as a defense, that's something we can't have happen, and that falls on me. A lot of times I found myself in pretty much every one of those positions, whether I was the first one missing or I was the 2nd or 3rd bouncing off. It falls on me, so we got to get it right.
Sounds like tackling was a pretty big part of practice this week, obviously. Obviously, you can't replicate JC in practice. How different was the real thing from what you guys tried to kind of simulate in practice?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you just said, there's not many of those guys running around, and they're certainly not running around at practice. But it's all just about, envisioning it and practicing like what you're going to see. Sometimes you have to just you have to believe that, while you're tackling a bag, and it might be a strength coach holding the bag, that, come game time, this is who it's going to be. And I think going forward, this will be a great point of reference for us is now it's not tackling a bag. We're tackling number 2 again. And I think that'll just help us get better again and again.
How much of it is like a tackling issue you guys are facing right now versus you're also facing, maybe the best back in the country?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of combination of both. Like you alluded to, and very special player. But obviously, it's been a little bit of a theme here for us. And I think the bye week's a perfect time to get better at it. And obviously, going forward, it's just luckily about defense, that's the primary thing you can focus on, and you get to do it almost every play. So you get 80 reps a game to practice at it, and it'll get better.
Kyle, Coach said that he stressed to you guys, hey, it's only one game, but it was a pretty ugly, fourth quarter, especially for you guys. How do you flush it?
Yeah, how do we flush it? Like Coach said, it is just one game. How good, how bad, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you just have to accept that it's either 1-0 or 0-1, and you got to keep moving forward. The teams that get stuck on, how bad the loss was, those are the teams that struggle. And the way I see it, you can either use it as fuel to just can it the rest of the season, or use it as fuel as fire to come back and show what we're made of.
5 tough games for you guys. How big is the bye week just for your mentals, you're getting your body back right, and just not having to go up and play another game in 6 days?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I know the guys would have been hungry to play another one after this one. Obviously, we'd love to get back on the field and get things right. But the bye week, I think, is at a good time to help guys get healthy and also just, like we said, work on some of the things that have been kind of recurring themes for us defensively, and it's something we're looking forward to.
When you look at last year's, what do you need to do to prevent a losing streak like what happened last year?
Well, I think we started it's been an entire year of process of making sure we didn't repeat the mistakes of last year's team. It's been the motto of this entire year. We can't be last year's team, and I know we're not. This team's built different, and I'm excited to see what we show when we come back on this field.
Your offense went for it on 4th and 1 from your guys' 27 in the 3rd quarter. Didn't get it. I think they scored 3 plays later. Does it feel like that was a pretty huge momentum swing in the game? They went up 2 touchdowns and kind of had control the rest of the way.
Maybe. I don't really think so, though, because at the end of the day, we got to stop him no matter where it was. And when he was breaking off 80-yard runs, I mean, we could have went for it on their 5, and he was getting 100 yards in about 2 plays. So, no, it's the analytics especially probably said to go for it wherever we were at. I can't really remember, but, we as a defense, we just got to execute. It doesn't really matter where the ball's spotted.
You talk about this team is built different. Just kind of when you look around the locker room, when you look at your teammates, what do you see that's different than last year that you're looking forward to?
2 things: the belief, and then the belief in the response. As a team this year, everything's been about belief. Obviously, we showcased that last week, but this week, it's a whole different type of belief. It's a type of belief that we're going to get better off of this. There's more to come, and that we can get better from this tape.